All right. Well, I'm here with Pastor Fred Owens. And what church do you pastor at?
I pastor Tecumseh Pentecostal Church of God.
Well, it's thank you for letting me interview you and letting me bounce some questions off you.
I'm glad to. I'll be glad to.
Yes, you're also the best grandfather in the world.
You're a
All
great
right.
grandson.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, how did you get to the position of leadership that you're at right now?
How did I get here to the leadership of where I am?
Yes.
Is
So,
that right?
as the pastor, how did
That's the
you
question.
become the pastor?
How? Oh, let's see. Um, of course, I started when I was young, and just kind of took the steps that I needed to take to arrive at a place of being the senior pastor. And for the place where I am right now, I left the leadership of the district in another district and was installed in this church at Tecumseh.
Okay. What kind of steps did you take to put yourself in the position of senior pastor? Like, what did you do before
Oh,
this?
before that, uh, back in the days when I was just a young man like you, uh, they didn't have a lot of youth pastors.
Okay.
You know, really, I basically started out as a senior pastor.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, what did that look like? What did you have to do to prove yourself?
Say that again.
What did you have to do to prove yourself, or
I
to,
went.
I guess, polish your position that you're in?
I went to a Bible school,
Okay.
and that's where I learned a lot about how to be a pastor, how to structure a message, um, how to learn the skills of senior pastor.
So, in so for me being in school, is that would you say that's a good thing if I want
I
to be
would
a
say
pastor?
that's, well, yes, I think you're taking the right steps.
Well, thank you very much.
Uh,
Let's see. What are and as being the senior pastor, it's a I would say a complicated role. There's a lot of things that it has to do with. What are some challenges that you face as the senior pastor?
let's see, I think probably the biggest challenge is really being able to motivate people to be able to find people within the congregation that is able to really make a contribution for the successful growth of the church. I think that's one of the biggest challenges. I guess you would say it's building people.
Okay. How do you spend as the senior pastor? Is that how you spend most of your time building people and kind of shepherding them, or maybe more administrative? Which one would you say?
Yes, yeah, discipling people and becoming a spiritual mentor to them. I think that's one of the big challenges.
Mm-hmm. Uh, are you where you thought you would end up? So, if you, whenever you were my age, did you think that you'd be in the place that you are now, or has it changed?
Um, I don't think I did. I knew that I wouldn't stay where I was all the time
Mm-hmm.
in the same place. I felt like that I wanted to improve and to be as successful as I can be, and also being productive in leading a church as well.
So, if you were me, what would you do upon graduating? I graduate in December. Uh, What should I do from here, you think?
I would think that a good step, Luke, for a person to take would be, um, of course, I think a person needs to always pray about everything they do.
Hmm.
But I think that I would try to find a place to perhaps be a youth pastor. Try to find a pastor that would really take some interest in me and teach me what I don't know at this particular time in my life and instill some things in me that perhaps maybe in the realm of leadership that maybe you haven't, you might have seen it in printing there at the school, but you don't have the own job situation. I think that would be very important.
So
Yeah.
find a place where I can get experience.
Uh huh. Yeah.
So in leading and different things that you do, where do you find your most or your biggest accomplishments come from? Uh, where would you say that would be?
Let's see. Say that again, Luke.
So, in leading the church, where do you find? Because I know that there are a lot of challenges. In those challenges, where do you find the biggest reward and accomplishments that come out of those challenges? So, is it out of for example, a challenge for me would be working with people, and there would be different rewards throughout the church that I could get, or uh, I guess I would prefer different ones in different aspects. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think I understand what you say. I hope I've got it right. But I think one of the, at least this is the way it's been in my ministry, I think one of the biggest challenges is to know how to relate to people, know how to motivate people, um, uh, and I think being able to relate to the people that you pastor. Um, most of my most of them have been longevity pastorates,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when I think people skills is very important in a youth pastor or a pastor uh, because if we can learn people, I think we can learn better how to get along with people and be diplomatic
Mm-hmm.
and and not be so divisive in our leadership that you are able to pull people together and bring them together to really accomplish what the church is set out to do.
And that's how. And so you find your biggest accomplishment just by being a problem solver and making everybody work together.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. So you know a lot more than I do, and you've been in a bigger role and capacity than I am. Uh, what would you say should keep me up at night? What are some things that I should be before I go to bed, or just some issues that I should struggle with and think about? Missions or whatever. I'm not sure what that would look like, but what would you say I should constantly be concerned with and thinking about?
Oh wow, that's what you're talking about. Uh, I think I understood when you talked about when you go to bed at night. Is that
Yes.
what you're talking?
So it's so much on what should be so much on my mind that whenever I go to bed, it's there and it keeps me up at night.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Now that is a hard question, Luke, um, because I've had some of those times in my life. You know, I have. You know, I think a lot of time it comes by realizing that we are just human and that we're not God, and that we have to leave a lot of challenge, problems. We just have to learn how to put it in God's hands and let Him take care of some things. Because, we can't
Mm-hmm.
do that, you know. And because there's some situations, some challenges that come that we don't really have the answer to that. Only God has the answer to that. And so that's the only thing that I can think of.
Well, it's good. Uh, in your life, who are some main people that you choose to hang out with and you choose to surround yourself with?
Um,
And what are
it would
some?
have to be somebody, Luke, that I really had confidence in. Somebody that I felt like was loyal to me. I think that's very important. Uh, Now, if you're talking about just hanging out, just with just
like
secular things of life,
like
that
your
might not
best
be the
friends?
case.
Who are
But
your
if,
close friends?
but yeah, uh, that you can share something with them about the ministry and that sort of thing. Is that what you're saying?
I guess. I mean, is that normally the case
Something.
with you?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, who are your closest friends, and what are some characteristics that they have and you
Yeah.
look for in them?
Yeah. You know, the odd thing about it, Luke, in the local church, it's I don't know that it's impossible, but sometimes it's very difficult to find someone that is inside the church that a person can talk to about maybe problems or situations that are happening inside of the church. So consequently, I look outside of the church for
Mm-hmm.
someone that I trust. It might be my district leader, or it could be somebody that is not necessarily connected to the church that you could confide in, because everybody needs somebody to talk to at some point in their pastoral life.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for letting me interview you. It means a lot.
Hey, I've enjoyed it, Luke. Man, I'm rooting for you. You got to come see us now when you get graduated, right?
I will for sure. No problem.
Okay, I'll be looking forward to that.
Well,
We love you, man,
I love you too.
and
It's
I'm
good to
proud
talk to you.
of you.
Thank you very much.
I am. I'm very proud of you, man, and we're praying for you.
Well, thank you very much. I love you, and I hope that you have a wonderful night.
Thank you, and I love you too, Luke. And I'll turn it over to your dad.
All right. Thank you.
There you go.